your promptness. So I just started the recording. So just so everybody knows, we're recording this. So those who aren't able to be here will be able to watch this session. And also it just kind of gives us a chance to get this all documented to share with anybody who has questions about JQuest. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here. Can everybody see the slides? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Perfect. Okay, so this is the Temple Jeremiah 2021-2022 JQuest information meeting. So I am Matt Rissien. For those I haven't met yet, it's great to see you. And I'm very big on appreciating the fact that you're taking time out of your week to be with us. So I just want to thank you for, first off, your commitment to JQuest and Temple Jeremiah, but also just taking a night out of your week to be here and to learn. So thank you so much from the start. And okay, so the first thing as we get started is who am I? Because I'm new at Temple Jeremiah, so I wanted to give you a chance to kind of get to know me. So these are just some little pictures that capture my life up until this point. So I grew up in Kansas City, moved here in 2012. I was the youth director at Congregation Beth Shalom in Northbrook for about 7 years when I first got here. I spent the last 2 years working at a Israel education organization called Stand With Us. They started a middle school Israel curriculum, and so I was the Midwest director of that curriculum. So my job was not just writing curriculum, but training teachers, working with educators to talk about the curriculum. And then when COVID hit, I kind of shifted everything virtually. So that was my chance to really explore all the different tools and how to make learning exciting in this past year. Temple Jeremiah was actually one of my schools that I had worked with on this program. So that was something that was very exciting for me, especially as I started joining this. So that's just a little bit about me. I also like, in my spare time, I make Jewish rap videos. So that's this picture here. This is my wife. She's from Buffalo Grove. Her name is Brittany. She is a middle school special education teacher. She was working at Hawthorne in Glenview, and starting next year, she'll be working in Lincolnshire at Daniel Wright Middle School. So we're a family of educators, and we're really happy to be part of the Temple Jeremiah family. So with that, I wanted to start with a little exercise. And so I put in here, and I like to make things engaging and entertaining, so you'll see some little pictures throughout. So I'm going to put this link in the chat box so that you have it. This is the main interactive activity for you. So if you go to tinyurl.com/JQuest info session, which I just put in the chat. And actually, I think if I copy it and put www, it'll do it as a hyperlink. So
you can copy it and paste it in the link, it'll come up.
There we go. And so what this is going to do is pull up this page right here. Hang on. There we go. So as you type, it's going to ask you to type in up to 8 different words. And we want to know what words come to mind when you think about this upcoming JQuest school year. And this is an opportunity for you to, it's all anonymous. So I don't feel like you're going to have to justify what words you use or anything like that. But I wanted to do this as a chance to really see kind of where everybody's thought process is. I know it's been a crazy, change in the past couple years. So I'm just curious, what words come to mind when you think about this upcoming JQuest school year? And I'll give you about a minute or so to do that. There's also, as you see up here, there's this code that you can see, and that'll get you to the link as well. And if you don't mind, when you're done, if you just put in the chat box the word "done," that way we'll know that that we're ready to move on and take a look at the results. Okay, so we're starting to get some in here. So this is great. We've got friendships, activities, culture, history, classroom, traditions. There we go. So now I'm just going to wait a second and let them all come in. What's really cool about this program is it will update them. And as you get more of similar answers, it will just make those words bigger. So I also like this app because it makes it really fun and engaging as it's happening. So I'm going to give about 30 more seconds here, and feel free to keep on filling that out as we go. It's just something good to have to kind of gauge our conversation. All right. So as you do, like I said, feel free to thank you, Ekaterina. Hope I pronounced that right. So I want to take a look real fast and just see what we have here. So we've got social, we've got celebrate, together, classroom, traditions, teachers, fun. We've got COVID. That's a big one. Socializing, learning, friendships, and community. We've got identity and engagement and Jewish culture, games and history and events. Two great ones next to each other are flexibility and safety, because of course, as we are trying to be as flexible as possible, we also are trying to keep safety in mind. And then the bigger ones we have are friends, community, holidays, culture, Hebrew, COVID, and social. So this was just a fun activity to just kind of get started, because I like to see where everybody's minds are at and where they see JQuest, kind of the focus where that is. And especially for me being new, this is important for me to get, because these are the values and the topics that I want to also, have instilled in our JQuest school. So thank you all for doing that. Like I said, if you're still working on it, feel free to continue. But that was our just a kind of quick opening exercise. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go through real fast, just a quick overview of each of the grades and what they look like. Some of them will be grouped together. There's a lot of moving pieces with school this year, or with JQuest. And so that's why we decided to do this information meeting, is one, because I haven't had the opportunity to meet everybody, but also because seeing it in an email is not the same as hearing it explained. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of the K through confirmation. And as you have questions, either write them down or you can put them in the chat box. And at the end, there's going to be a time for questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. What I'd also love is if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat box what grades your child or children are joining us from. That way I'll get a sense of where to focus the most on as well. So we've got some K2, 4. From the registration, I think we had a wide spread, so that's great. And again, as I get started, I just want to thank you all for this, for the commitment to signing up, or being interested in signing up for JQuest, and for being here with us. All right, yeah, we've got kind of all across the board, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I put these onto slides to try and make it connect. And then at the end, like I said, we'll have time for questions. Happy to offer any answers I can. So the first question we've got is, what is JQuest? Because as you know, I've just started, and I found out that JQuest, the name was changed right before COVID happened. So I wanted to start by explaining that for everybody. So JQuest is what we call our religious school program. It used to be called Temple Jeremiah Religious School. This is kind of a shift. So it represents all of the grades K through 10. And the reason we changed this is because we kind of have a different approach with our school now. So we want with JQuest. And so we want to do more interactive, experiential lessons with the students. We want them to enjoy being here, and we want them to get the most out of it at a level where they're at. So this is more of kind of a continuous Jewish journey, as we call it, that's going to immerse students and create community. So a lot of you said that you have kids in K1 or 2. So our goal is to provide, enough engaging lessons that not only are they going to have fun, but they're going to continue on through the whole process as one group and community, and you'll all get to know each other, and your students will get to know each other as they go. So let's start with what JQuest will look like next year. I tried to group them together, and then I realized there are so many moving parts. It's best to do K through 2, and then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then we'll do 7th, 8th, and 9th, and confirmation. And I know that looks like a lot, but I promise it will not. We will not be here for hours. I will make sure we roll through this. So here we go to get started. For those of you who are kindergarten through 2nd grade, you will meet, so K through 2, our program meets on Sunday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. The timing is going to include a new interactive tefillah experience with members of the clergy and staff. So I have a little bit of background of teaching in some other places, and they had this, a few other places I've taught have this community aspect where members of the clergy, you bring in different grades together, and it's really more about community and repetition and teaching them some of the prayers, but also just week after week, it's the same format, but you see our clergy are involved, our staff are involved, there's all different kinds of people. So it creates that community. So for all of the grades on Sundays, we're going to be starting that. Then in August, we're going to be sending out the assignments for the teachers and classes. In the past, kindergarten and 1st grade have mainly been one class. I know we already have about 12 signed up for the 1st grade class. So we may end up, depending on numbers and what the COVID task force says, we may end up bringing someone else in, but I'll keep you posted as that happens. So the first day of school is going to be on September 19th. That is for all grades. So even though that's on every slide, I will throw that out there now. Our first day of school of JQuest will also include a Sukkah festival that will start after that first time slot. So as soon as JQuest is done for K through 5, you will go right outside to our Sukkah festival, which is a bunch of booze and activities and all kinds of fun things. They also started that last year. So this is if you were there last year, this is from the success of that, we are bringing it back. That day will also be in the morning, the parent orientation for kindergarten through 3rd grade. So you will actually bring your students to JQuest, and you will stay as well and have different sessions where you'll meet the teacher. You might, we're still planning out how it all looks. And so that's how that will go. And all right, next up we have, so Machaneh. So that's the K through 2 program. It's really Sunday mornings, community building, learning as they grow, and then that will get them to the start of the 3rd grade program. So for 3rd through 6th grades, we're starting something new this year, which is called Machaneh, which is the Hebrew word for camp. So Machaneh is going to be in person, and it varies. So 3rd grade has their own experience, which I'll share in a second, and then 4th, 5th, and 6th will have their own separate Machaneh experience. What Machaneh is, it's an interactive experiential sessions with the teachers. So it looks a little bit different from the other lessons. It's not the intense one-on small group Hebrew sessions. It's about, there's a small prayer experience with the clergy and staff that we talked about. Our goal with this is to really create community, to get everyone back into that, the feeling of, while doing it safely, we want them to feel welcome. We want them to be excited to be back here. So it's just a little bit of a different approach. So let's start with 3rd grade. And if I'm talking too fast or you need me to reiterate something, please feel free to put that in the chat box as well. Okay, 3rd grade. So all of 3rd grade is on Sunday this year. There's no more Monday, Wednesday. It is just Sunday from 9 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. What that looks like is from 9 to 10:30, it's the normal Sunday morning schedule that they would have had in years past. But what we did was, instead of those small groups on a Monday or a Wednesday, we realized that, like I said, we want that community feel, and we want them to be learning Hebrew together for this first year when they start to really get immersed in it. K through 2 will have exposure to Hebrew, and they'll learn a little bit of you know, the Aleph Bet and word recognition, but this is our first year of you know, the more intensive. We want them to start learning the language. So the Hebrew sessions will utilize Hebrew through movement and other hands-on approaches. The easiest way to explain this is just you know, more engaging ways. So instead of saying we're going to go to we're going to stand up, we would say lakum. I'm actually taking the there's a whole unit that teaches educators on how to teach Hebrew through movement. I'll be taking that in August, so I'll know a little bit more of the logistical details with it. But everybody said it's a great program. So same type of thing. We're going to have the community prayer experience. We're going to have the first day of school is September 19th, followed by our Sukkot festival. And then that will also be the parent orientation. Okay, so fourth grade, which is our bet in the Hebrew side, we call it bet. So this is, so they will have their Sunday experience from 9 o'clock to 10:30. And then they will also have this small group Hebrew for on a Monday or a Wednesday. So what this looks like with the bullet points. So I'll take a step back. For those who, there were a lot of people who said on this past year, they wanted to take a year off, they wanted to take a break. If you took a break during third grade, when really they start that Hebrew immersion and that different approach to learning, we want them to be at a level with the rest of the students who were there last year. So we created this program called Jumpstart. Jumpstart is for those who missed Aleph last year. And what that will do is we'll pair them into small groups tutored by Alexis Ruda. So Alexis Ruda is one of our Aleph teachers. So she is going to work with these groups literally starting now. Our first group started today. So if you are under this category and your child is back from camp, they are welcome to start this Jumpstart program. And the way this works is as they are ready to shift from Jumpstart into the actual bet courses, we will put them into small groups with bet. And that's the Jumpstart. The other thing for those who are curious about the cost of that, it is literally you will pay into Jumpstart, and that will be your, if they're in Jumpstart for the whole year, that'll be where that money goes. If they transition into bet, you'll pay nothing. There's no different cost. It's just a transfer from the Jumpstart program to the bet program. So there's nothing to worry about there. There's no additional or different fee structure with that. Then we've got those who did have Aleph last year. If you took Aleph last year, then you will sign up for a digital Monday or Wednesday small group Hebrew session. And in August, as we know more of what the numbers are, who's going where, we will do that. And that's based on kind of like a Hebrew assessment level that we'll do. That's how we know how to pair everyone. But email me if you have any questions about that as well. Next up, we talked about the Machaneh experience. So Machaneh experience for third graders is on Sunday, but for fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, this is a little bit different, and also why I wanted to do an information meeting with everybody. So if you are in fourth, fifth, or sixth grade, once a month, you will not be joining your Hebrew small group. You will be actually coming in person for an hour and 15 minutes from 4:30 to 5:45. And those dates were sent out, but I'm happy to send another calendar out as well. So for those, that will be their Machaneh experience. So again, it's in person because we want to create that community, get everybody in. It's also a different approach to learning. And we think that, you know, the more different ways we can expose the students to learning this, the better that it is. And then we've also got Rabbi Debbie Helbrons on the call right now, and she is working with me on this Machaneh experience. She's really been helping me learn how we do things and helping to implement it. So at the end, Debbie, we're going to take questions, and if there's something that pertains to that, I will gladly pass it to you as well. So Sundays we'll have that same prayer experience for older kids, or for the for third through fifth. And then the first day of school is September 19th, like we talked about. Okay, moving on to 5th grade Gimel. And for those of you who have already addressed your grades, I just want to thank you for bearing with us. I wanted to make sure we approach every grade the same. And then, like I said, we'll do discussion and everything. So for 5th grade, it's the same type of thing. We have our JQuest Sunday experience in the mornings, and then we have our Hebrew small group sessions. So you're going to sign up for a digital small group on Monday or Wednesday. That is the Hebrew. Then we have once a month the Machaneh experience, where they will actually come into the building for an hour and 15 minutes. During those weeks, we will not have small group digital Hebrew sessions. So instead of joining on Zoom with your small group, you will actually be at Temple Jeremiah with your small group and other small groups together as a community. Same thing with the community service, and same things with the first day of school. Moving on to 6th grade. So for 6th grade, in addition to the JQuest Sunday, which is a later shift now, this is a change from what it used to be. I believe we changed this because of spacing and availability, but either way, 6th grade is now 11 a.m. to 12:30 for their Sunday experience. Hebrew will also take place on the Monday or Wednesday. So you sign up for our digital Hebrew groups, same as the other grades. You have the Machaneh experience that is once a month in person. You will have, so Sundays will look a little bit different for 6th grade. Sundays, the classes themselves, you will have 6th grade lessons by themselves. They'll either be with their teacher or rotating. We also are going to implement a program called Chugim. Chugim are basically rotations and different options. So we're going to give them the options, and then sometimes we'll combine 6th and 7th together. We'll combine 6th and 7th for special programs and speakers. Sunday will also have that service, and then the first day will be the 19th. Okay, and Tracy, I saw, since you mentioned it, so you the once a month is in person for everybody. Yes. So if you are in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, you will have once a month where you come in person on a Monday or a Wednesday. And that'll depend on what day your small group assignment is for Hebrew. But also for 4th grade, if you are in the Jumpstart program, you are encouraged to join us as well. So that way they'll get to know their classmates, and it's been a while since everybody's been together. So hopefully that'll be great for everyone. All right, I'm gonna run through the next few real fast, and then we can get to questions and updates and all that fun stuff. So this year, 7th grade will only be on Sundays from 11 to 12:30 p.m. The program will have 7th grade lessons. It will have 7th grade B'nai Mitzvah preparation, and 6th and 7th, like we said last time, they will be combined for some speakers. What I do want you to know, in case this applies to anybody here, some people have mentioned to me that they either are not doing a B'nai Mitzvah, or they might be doing something separately from Temple Jeremiah. If they would like to participate in 7th grade, we love to have them, especially on our Sundays. On the days when there are B'nai Mitzvah conversations, I will make sure that we talk about it ahead of time, so that way they don't feel like they're missing out on something, or that they're listening to something that doesn't relate to them. So the other thing for those who have asked, you must be signed up for 7th grade if you are in our B'nai Mitzvah program. That's a policy that kind of predates me, that a lot of it is me learning and telling you what I've learned. So that was something that I've been told, is that for a long time, 7th grade, part of the B'nai Mitzvah program. So same type of thing with the prayer experience, and first day of school will start with the Sukkot festival as well. Okay, last couple slides here. So this year, 8th and 9th grade will also take place on Sundays from 11 to 12:30 p.m. Sundays will have, for 8th and 9th grades, we'll bring in some guest speakers. We'll bring in some special programs and do projects with them. And then we also will have clergy leading different discussions about, what it means to be an 8th or 9th grade Jew, and what that looks like. we will be releasing the schedule in August. There's a lot of moving pieces to booking speakers and getting everything together. So that's why the 8th, 9th, and even 10th grade calendar is not out yet, but it's at the top of my priority to get that out to everyone soon. The other thing with 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, they will not be meeting every week. So there will be some weeks where that will be off, but I will let you know ahead of time when that is. I'm really big on communication, so I want to let you know about everything as early as possible because I know your schedules depend on that. So just know if there's ever something communication-wise that you feel like you're missing, please reach out to me and let me know. I'm happy to, I want to fix that quickly because communication is super important to me. And also not over communicating. I want to make sure, when we're sending out emails and things that we get those to you in a timely manner and they're concise and not, with a lot of different changes and things. So look for that to be something that I work on also. A lot of people have asked about becoming Madricine. So the Madricine program is partially me, but it's also a lot of Shira and even some of Rabbi Rachel. And so we are, they are both at Azrui right now. And as soon as they come back from Azrui, we're going to sit down, get the form out to everyone. So if you have students who are waiting on that, you can let them know that they will have that shortly. Probably the second week of August, we'll have that sent out. Lastly, we have 10th grade confirmation. So 10th grade confirmation is Sundays from 11 to 12:30. This is mainly class discussions with Rabbi Cohen and also special invited guests that will come in and talk with them. They will also be participating in the prayer experience. And we will have the full Sunday confirmation schedule released in August. Like I said, it won't meet every week. And then our first day, so the first day for everyone, as you see, is September 19th. The last thing that's important to know also is if you want to be a madrich, if your student wants to, they need to be registered in school. So that way we can have them as part of the program as a whole. And then they'll be there on Sundays anyways, which is nice that we have this community. So that was a lot. It actually came out in an email first. That's why we decided to do this session, was so I could really explain it. Thank you all for listening to the logistical side of this. But I also want to make sure you have a chance to answer. I want to answer any and all questions that you have. So I always like to put little fun pictures here so that way you can smile for a second. And my email is here. And Annie, if you don't mind putting my email in the chat for everyone as well. They made it pretty simple for us. It's matt@templejeremiah.org. But I want to make sure that you are all able to contact me with emails, with questions, with anything as they come up. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm actually going to pause the recording just so that way we can go through all the logistical pieces that you might have questions about.
We're making an effort to permeate Hebrew through everything that we do. And you'll see that on Sunday mornings, you'll see that during the week, you'll see that really in all of what you do and all of what you experience, whether you have a kindergartner or a 10th grader. Okay, so Hebrew is going to be infused in the whole entire program, and we're really excited about that. I have really loved working with Matt so far. We make a really good team, and some things will change and other things will stay the same. So it was great to see everyone.
All right, and with that, last call for questions from anybody. And we will see you on, we'll see you before September 19th because the holidays are early this year, but we will see you at the high holidays and on September 19th for JQuest. And have a good night, everybody.
If you haven't registered, please register. If you need help, contact me. Thanks.
All right, thanks everyone.